Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Eddie Hearn and Bivol to work with Turki'S, not the WBC. I don't know. I know something's brewing. Where is it? I was just looking at something. I'm going to share it with you. I didn't repost it, did I? Anyway, I got it right here anyway. Dimitri Bivol, he posted something, and what he said is, waiting for the next move with my best team at Matchroom Boxing at Turkey. Let me see if I can drag this across for you. Keep my big head out the way. I guess I got to get my big head out the way. Waiting for the next move with my best team at Matchroom Boxing at Turki'S at Riyadh season at Vadim K team. He don't say nothing about Mauricio Suleiman WBC, does he? Is he letting us know that he's going to go ahead and press with the Beterbiev rematch and they'll sort out the WBC drama later? I don't know. But I tell you what, if you let old Fast Eddie, if he has any say in any of this, you know Eddie Hearn's going to go where the money is. He already said when it comes to Turki'S, he would tie his shoes if he had to because it's all about the money. And if a man will admit to be willing to tie another man's shoes, what else will he be willing to do? But nonetheless, let me share something with y'all, right? This is something that was on BoxingScene.com. I'm just going to share it with you. Now, check this out. Eddie Hearn, now he's saying he has a gut feeling that Bivol and Beterbiev will do a third battle. You know why he has a gut feeling? Because that's where the money is. He knows that's where the money is. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying more people are going to tune into that than they would for Bivol, who's Eddie Hearn's fighter, against Beterbiev. But that's where the money is because Turki'S the guy who's going to put the money up for it. And that means Eddie Hearn takes no financial risk. He come fumbling around with his WBC mandatory David Benavidez. Turkey ain't touching it. He says he's not going to bid. It's going to be on Eddie Hearn to put the money up, hope he wins the purse bid, and now he takes all the risk and hoping that fight goes on to do amazing numbers. But we know, I think it's safe to assume that Bivol and Benavidez, if Eddie Hearn's promoting it and if they're running pay-per-view and doing things their way, they're not going to make the kind of money that they would make if Turki'S was sitting there saying, okay, forget everything. This is what you guys are going to get. And let's not worry about the back end on anything. You see, and Eddie Hearn's smart. So again, listen to what Eddie Hearn said. If I got to tie that man's shoes, I'm tying his shoes. And if you got a fella saying, I will tie a man's shoes for some money, what else may he do to get some money? Anyway, look, not everybody shares his sentiment that Beterbiev and Bivol were really, really entertaining fights, the first and second. I know for a fact the first fight was very entertaining. Some people feel the second was okay, but again, everyone has different opinions. But what Eddie Hearn says is he thinks Turki'S wants to do a third fight, and he just feels that they were so incredible. Now, I know Turki'S, I think he really wants Beterbiev to get that win so he can come out 2-1 against Bivol, but that's just my opinion. Now, the whole thing about remaining undisputed, I don't know how they're going to sort that out. But what this could be is a play to satisfy the WBC, which is we'll pay step-aside money to Beterbiev, to Benavidez, and we'll still have our fight. But, you know, the thing is, it's not just the WBC that's going to be putting some pressure on Bivol. There are other sanctioning bodies that are looking to do it as well. Okay? Now, when you come down here to the 175-pound division, see, this is where things get a little bit tricky. All right? Bivol has, let me condense this a little bit for you. Bivol has a WBO, IBF, WBC, and WBA belts. Caleb Smith is right there for the WBO. He's a mandatory now. Benavidez for the WBC and Benavidez for the WBA. Now, when you take a look at the IBF, you got the guy who's the mandatory. Michael Effort is the mandatory. So the issue here is Beterbiev is holding position in two of the sanctioning bodies, WBC and WBA. You know, Beterbiev is nowhere in sight because he just lost. But they're 1-1. There should be a grudge match. But it becomes really interesting because for Bivol, if these sanctioning bodies aren't working together, it can be interesting because maybe the IBF, they simultaneously force their mandatory on Bivol, along with the WBC, WBA, and the WBO. Bivol can't fight three people. He can't fight Effort, Beterbiev, and Caleb Smith. So then you see people the sanctioning bodies start stripping them. And that's not fair. But you know, when Turki'S in the house, every day is Thanksgiving. This is where Turki can come and he can remedy all this. Now, the problem is he sounds like he's chosen not to get involved with anything dealing with Bivol if he's going to Benavidez route. But hey, if Bivol fights Beterbiev, then we've got something here. Now, Eddie Hearn even recognizes that you got the guy Effort, a German fighter. Maybe he knows skull and shit, right? You got Effort out there with the IBF, like we just talked about, Benavidez, and Benavidez is holding position in two of the sanctioning bodies. But the end of the year is what Eddie Hearn's looking forward to. And I'm going to be honest, he's not just saying he's looking at the end of the year. He's not saying that because it's something he thinks. Because those are the conversations they've been having. Those are the conversations, man. End of the year for the Trilogy, Beterbiev and Bivol. And I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that Eddie Hearn's out here saying this, you know he can't hold water. I do believe that that's what's going to happen. As far as Caleb Smith, like I've been saying, and like, you know, I believe some of you guys believe as well, I think it's going to be Caleb Smith against Benavidez. I really do. But we're going to have to wait and see. But my thing is the WBC Suleiman. I just want to know what he's going to do because he went on record. It's like, yo, we ordered Bivol to fight Benavidez. Now, I'm going to be honest. I never knew that the WBC was Benavidez's friend. I know they like him, but they never really forced Canelo's hand to fight him. So why are they going to come out here now and try to force Bivol's hand to fight him? That's all I'm saying. You didn't force Canelo to fight Benavidez. So why are you trying to force Bivol? You a little bit butthurt over Turki'S, showing y'all that, hey, I don't really need you guys to see my vision through. Maybe that's what this really boils down to. But if I know Eddie Hearn the way I've become familiar with him through videos and reading articles, right? Eddie Hearn is gonna make sure Bivol stays close to Turki'S. He ain't gonna worry. They're gonna figure out a way to dodge that WBC bullet. They're gonna figure out a way. Now, I was even thinking, if they're all working in concert together, right?
Keisha Hussein.
Hold on. All right, like I was saying, what would be interesting is, let's say everybody's working in concert with each other. What if Turki'S was like, you know what? Let's allow Bivol to drop the WBA and BC belts, and Benavidez gets elevated to the champion. So now Benavidez is the WBC and WBA champion, okay? And you let Beterbiev and Bivol fight. And then you have a situation where now the winner of the Trilogy fights Benavidez, and it gives both of them a chance, it gives one of them a chance to become it gives Bivol a chance to become two-time undisputed Yeah, it'll give both of them a chance to become two-time undisputed if they win. Now that would be interesting too. And the reason I say that is because you look at how Turkey Al-Sheikh, he went a bit crazy when they stripped. They were trying to strip somebody of the IBF strap. Damn, what was the situation where somebody, the IBF took, it wasn't Canelo's belt. It was, when they took Usyk. Yeah, when they took that belt from Usyk, and then Dubois ended up with it, right? Turkey was pissed because it wasn't going to be Usyk and Fury for undisputed again. But anyway, if Turkey doesn't, he's not really putting up a fight right now. But let's wait and see how all this plays out, because you just never know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Again, on the outside looking in, it's like you got the East versus West. Somebody gonna run up on you. But who knows? When the dust settles, there may be some weird plan to be like, okay, you know what? Let him lose those two belts, give him to Beterbiev. Beterbiev fights Caleb Smith. Now, one of those guys, whoever wins, then they have their two belts, and then they come and they fight the winner of Bivol Beterbiev in a trilogy. So it could go that way. But I just know how Turkey Al-Sheikh feels about the undisputed distinction. I know how hard it is to get an undisputed champion. And I don't think he'll be okay to sit back and allow his stubbornness to preclude him from salvaging the undisputed distinction. I think he'd rather have to do what he has to do to keep it underneath one person, opposed to have those belts get fragmented, and now you got 4 people with 4 belts. Even though he doesn't really seem to care about all those belts and sanctioning bodies and fees, he's going the direction of just a ring belt and an undisputed title. But I still don't feel that he, at this point in time, he's like, F it. Whatever happens to the belts happens to the belts. I don't think so. But again, we don't know because they haven't really shared much of what their plans are with this new league. So more to come. Anyway, I can't wait to hear what else Mauricio Suleiman has to say. Because I'm sure he just wants a little bit of money, man. That's all. Just give me a little money, and then I'm cool. And he gets that, and I'm sure this shit will die down. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Eddie Hearn, he is not going to allow Bivol to get too far away from Turkey Al-Sheikh. Because that means Eddie Hearn got to put his own coin up, and he ain't trying to do that. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.